Music starts energetic and fades into the background. Hey, if you're not vegan, you might be thinking to yourself, why would I want to do something like that? But what I'm telling you is that diets can be complicated, and they're just for everyone. And this can be a fun and energetic way for you to keep everyone healthy while you're on a diet. Okay, picture this. The face of a Greek god. Perfectly sculpted, totally serene, and almost impossibly real. Now imagine a glowing halo. You know, the kind you'd see on a Roman emperor, a symbol of just immense power. And now, take both of those things and put them on one of the most revered spiritual figures in all of history, the Buddha. A Greek face, a Roman halo, on an Indian icon. Wait, what? How is that even possible? Well, this absolutely baffling cultural mashup isn't just a cool fact. It's a high-stakes question from a major national exam. Yeah, one of those questions designed to really test how deeply you understand history, art, and how cultures work. Feeling a little intimidated? Don't be. Because in the next few minutes, we're not just going to explain it, we're going to give you the exact step-by-step formula to crack this question and to really get the incredible story behind it. All right, let's get into it. Welcome to what I like to call the greatest imperial art heist in history. Think of this as a detective mission. We're here to figure out how two huge Western empires left their mark all over the face of Eastern spirituality. Okay, time to dust for prints. Our first and most obvious suspect, the Greeks. I mean, their artistic DNA is all over the crime scene. The evidence? It's just overwhelming. These sculptures of Buddha often have that wavy hair and those classic chiseled features of the Greek god Apollo. And look at the robes. They flow with this lifelike grace over perfectly proportioned bodies. That complete obsession with anatomical perfection, that's a Greek signature, 100%. Even the architecture in the background with those fancy Corinthian pillars, that just screams Greek influence. And this was no accident. The experts are clear. This was a direct artistic inheritance. The artists in Gandhara were basically using the Greek playbook. So, case closed, right? The Greeks did it. Well, not so fast. Whoa, hold on. Stopping there is the classic mistake, because if you look just a little closer, a second suspect left their fingerprints everywhere. And that suspect is Rome. And here's the thing, the Roman influence went way deeper than just looks. It was fundamental. They brought in powerful new symbols, different materials like schist and stucco, which are great for carving fine details, and most importantly, a totally new way to tell stories in stone. Let's talk about that halo for a second. Today, we see it and think spiritual, holy, but its origin? Pure political power. It was borrowed directly from portraits of Roman emperors, who used it to show off their godlike status. Think about that. The Romans gave the Buddha the symbol of an emperor. And it didn't stop there. See these super detailed panels showing scenes from the Buddha's life? That's a Roman storytelling trick. The Romans were masters of propaganda. On monuments like Trajan's Column, they carved these epic stories of their victories for everyone to see. The Gandharan artists took that exact same method and created basically an ancient comic book in stone to tell the story of the Buddha's journey. So we have two main suspects, the Greeks and the Romans, both with clear evidence at the scene. How did these two rival influences come together to create one single, incredible masterpiece? This is where it all clicks. It was like the perfect partnership. You could say the Greeks provided the form, that beautiful, realistic, Apollo-like body. But the Romans, they provided the function, the imperial symbolism of the halo, and the narrative power to tell a really compelling story to the masses. And that right there brings us to our final formula. You take the Greek obsession with the perfect form, you add the Roman genius for storytelling and symbols of power, and then you blend it all with that deep, local Indian spirituality, things like the specific hand gestures or mudras and the meditative poses. Put it all together, that is the unique code of the Gandhara style. It's an incredible mix, but it leaves one final burning question for a little investigation. Greece, Rome, India, these were vast, distant worlds. So what was the opportunity? How on earth did this artistic heist even happen? The answer is one of the most important networks in human history, the Silk Route.
And it wasn't just for trading silk and spices. It was an ancient superhighway for ideas, for philosophies, religions, and, you guessed it, art. It was the melting pot where artists and thinkers from these different worlds met, shared, and created something totally new.
So why does any of this matter today? Because this story, it's about so much more than just old art. It's a timeless lesson in how true innovation actually happens. What we're looking at with Gandhara art is basically a perfect monument to ancient globalization. It's proof that for thousands of years, human progress doesn't happen in isolation. It happens at the crossroads, where different ideas collide and create a spark.
And the result of that spark? Timeless works of art that, as the experts say, transcend geographical boundaries. They don't belong to just one country or one culture anymore. They belong to the world. And that's the ultimate takeaway here. The story of Gandhara art is proof of a simple but really powerful truth. The most innovative, the most breathtaking, and the most enduring things in this world are created not in a bubble, but at the explosive intersection where different worlds collide.
So, back to the big question. Did Gandhara art owe as much to the Romans as it did to the Greeks? Now you have the formula, but I want to know, what's your final verdict? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Hey, if this explainer opened your mind, just imagine what else is out there. Hit that subscribe button because we bring you jaw-dropping insights just like this every single week. Trust me, you will not want to miss what's coming next.